half the internet is complaining about the new God of War entry, and the other half is complaining about the first half, complaining about the new God of War entry. And then there's me, about to complain about both sides. So the new entry graces us with Faye, Kratos' wife, as the main character, and that's the main bone of contention for some people.
Kratos!
A number of people are not happy to play as someone who is not Kratos, and then a certain set of people think this is because they don't want to play as a woman. Well, what camp am I in? Let me break it down for you. State of Play aired, and there were a lot of reviews. We got a release date as well as new gameplay footage for Wolverine, and there is so much blood and gore as it should be, to be honest. And we wouldn't rather have it any other way. We're also getting new Until Dawn, and I must say that cliff scene where you're prompted to either push the other person or jump alone, and then you push the person and end up landing on a rock. I'm sorry, it was so funny. Because I was thinking, what if they fall on this rock? And then that's exactly what happened. And yeah, we also got an updated release date for Control Resonant. If you know me, that's the one I'm looking most forward to. Overshadowing all this though was the reveal that is resonating with gaming community and will continue to do so probably for many years to come. Yep, I'm talking about No, I'm talking about God of War Laufey, or as some people are calling it, Karen of War. Because they use Deborah Ann Woll. She's the Karen Page actor from Daredevil. If you haven't seen Daredevil, you misspeak. Not Born Again, please, the first Daredevil. Anywho, I digress. The story of God of War Laufey kicks off from the beginning of the original entry into the God of War Norse saga, that's God of War 2018, where Kratos and Atreus burn the body of Faye, that's Kratos' deceased wife. This time though, instead of climbing to the highest mountain to spread her wishes across the realms and all that, we're following Faye through to the afterlife, where apparently gods come to when they die. It's like the afterlife of the gods or something like that. Now, it's a bit confusing. It confused me when I watched the review, because according to Norse mythology, Laufey, who Faye is adapted from, is a goddess and the mother of Loki. In God of War, however, she is a giant. She hasn't been stated to be a goddess at any point up to this point, so it's kind of confusing, right? Does this mean that she might be like Atreus, a giant goddess? I mean, huge if true, no pun intended. Anywho, we see some other gods there. Sekhmet, the Egyptian god of war, and Betsy. I'm sorry if you're from any of these places. I do not know how to pronounce these names. But yeah, Betsy is the Tibetan Buddhist god of war. And yeah, they both seem to be running the place. But that's the premise of the game. But what stood out for me is the combat. Yeah, I think this is the best part of the reveal for me. It looks very fluid. Faye is nimbler. I thought it'd be more nimble. Faye is nimbler and more agile than Kratos, and she has air combat. I know, air combat. We've not had air combat in God of War since like God of War 3. And we also get back the double jump. Hooray. But yeah, she's more agile, she does air combos, and I didn't like in the Norse saga how Kratos couldn't jump unless prompted. Like, you have to go to the wall and then you see a prompt, press O to like cling or something like that. But here she can jump twice. Double jump. W is in chat, man. Bring back double jump. Our protests have finally paid off. I never protested anyway. Anywho, she incorporates the jumping and everything to her combat, so it's like grounded God of War with a mix of God of War 3, but no change. So I'll say God of War 2018 plus a bit of maybe Devil May Cry. You can never go wrong with Devil May Cry. I'm sold here. The dialogue and story look good, but something that stood out for me halfway through as well is the fantastical look of the game. It has this feel of like fantasy or something. I don't know how best to put it. The characters, the environment, it bears a slight resemblance to something from Final Fantasy. I mean, granted, God of War has always had magic and some fantastical elements, but they seem to be adding more fantastical elements. I mean, it's been established in the original or in the Norse saga that Kratos is not so keen on magic, but Faye seems to be. So I think that's why. I mean, if you look at the first God of War trilogy, the look and feel is kind of gritty to suit Kratos' anger and descent into madness. It looks different compared to the Norse saga. The Norse saga looks clean and less gritty as Kratos is actively bettering himself, trying to become a good father and everything. And this entry seems to have a bigger focus on magic. So I guess looking fantastical suggests that Santa Monica does want to keep consistency depending on what arc or what character they are following and what realm, right? So I mean, I'll allow. It threw me off a lot, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Now to the main cause of the whole argument on Twitter and online. God of War, but no Kratos, and even more staggering, a woman. Now, when the rumors of Faye being the next protagonist started circulating some months ago, I was actually not a fan. I was so confused because I was like, okay, it's not because I don't want to play as a woman. I mean, as I said, control is peak. But I don't, I mean, it's God of War. I mean, it's not about the gender. It's not about playing as male or female. I just want to play as Kratos. I remember in God of War Ragnarok, there were times you had to play as Atreus and then fight and shoot arrows and all that. And every single time I played as Atreus, I just wanted to get back to playing as Kratos. I'm like, okay, all right, wrap it up, please. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. Give me Kratos. And that's how I felt when I first heard of Faye being the protagonist here. I mean, are there people who are sexist and do not want to play simply because the main character is a woman? Yeah, probably. But I don't think there are as many as people make it seem, and I don't think they are as relevant as well. I mean, the people who say, oh, you don't play this game because of the woman, I feel like you are adding more relevance than you should to these people, because first of all, I don't think that's the case, and then at least not for most people, and then secondly, even if that were the case for a small amount of people, don't give them relevance. We don't care. We are still going to play the game. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the major reason for this skepticism is just the fact that you are not playing as Kratos and it is a God of War game, and Faye is not even a god of war. I mean, you get what I mean. The last 8 games we played as Kratos, with Kratos as the center, it's valid to feel disconnected when the character you're playing as doesn't seem to be the center anymore, or maybe not even in the game. All that said, I think playing as Faye is the most reasonable next step in the God of War story. You need to leave. Hear me out. At the beginning of the series, Kratos made a mistake, trusting Ares, and then he was tricked into killing his family. That set him on the path of revenge. Kratos kills Ares, expecting to have the pain of his wife and daughter erased from his mind. That's what the gods promised him. But then they betray him and reveal that, oh, sorry, we can't erase this thing from your mind. Oh, sorry, no vex. And then Zeus is urged by fear to kill Kratos. And this fear was caused by Kratos when he opened the box of Pandora, if you are familiar with God of War lore. And then that sends Kratos even further down the rabbit hole, to the point that in God of War 3, Kratos is essentially the villain. He's crazy. Who can stop this madman? That's how he is in God of War 3. He tries to end it all by killing himself at the end of God of War 3, but he's cursed by some form of immortality. We also see Athena in God of War 3, who says she went to a higher plane of existence. Keep that in mind for now. So, if we fast forward to the Norse saga, Kratos is given a second chance. He has another family. He's trying to be better. He's come essentially full circle from a murdering, rage-filled beast to a very pacified father, looking out for people around him and only fighting as a last resort. So what am I trying to say? Kratos has peaked. This is peak Kratos. This is his final form as a character. I don't know what else they want to do with the character, with the story. He's on good terms with characters at the end of Ragnarok, and I think adding a new character will be redundant because I don't know what kind of relationship they want to explore, except maybe a wife. I was thinking they were going to do something with Freya, but I'm really not interested in that. romance thing. I'm more interested in Kratos' life with Faye, right? Because we do not know much about that. So we've seen Kratos grow through relationships with his sons, friends, and even enemies and Athena. And even at the end of God of War Ragnarok, he sees a mural where people are like bowing or worshiping him, and like he's like a good god in quotes. And I think this is kind of like the conclusion of Kratos' really long that has spanned several games. And I feel like adding to it, maybe adding a new character to give Kratos something more to learn, will take us down the path of Boruto. Yeah. Boruto ruined Naruto's arc, made Naruto a deadbeat loser. I do not want to see that happen to any other character. It's crazy, man. But anywho, that's where Faye comes in. Faye is the one piece from the North Saga we do not have much information on. We basically do not have info on her at all. We know she's more in tune with magic. We know she's a giant, and we found out like 5 minutes ago she's a goddess. But that's about it. This makes her the perfect protagonist, even more so than Atreus. I see people asking to play as Atreus. Oh, I would have rather played as Atreus. And I'm like, bro, did you guys play that God of War Ragnarok? I hated playing as Atreus, especially that whole cow, riding cow thing. It was terrible, man. I do not want to play as Atreus again. At least until they do something about his cow. I don't know why. I don't. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But yeah, I did not like playing as Atreus. Also, Kratos' story arc might have ended, but there's an overarching story in the North Saga at the end of Ragnarok. Right? What's up with the mask? What about the rift? Odin asked questions like, "Oh, where do gods go when they die?" Odin seemed convinced that there was something higher. Athena in God of War 3 says she came from a higher plane of existence. I mean, the God of War story is still very much on. Although we're done with Kratos, but the story is still very much on. And I think Faye is the best option to explore this because, I mean, she's dead. What better way to find out what happens to gods when they die than with the dead god? I get the issue that the name of the game is God of War Laufey, but Kratos isn't in the game and Faye isn't a god of war and wasn't even a god until, yeah, as I said 5 minutes ago. I kind of feel that way too. I think the title God of War Laufey is fine because it ties into the God of War story, but then the God of War story has expanded more than just God of War Kratos. I was thinking to myself, if this is to expand the verse beyond just Kratos' journey, maybe the name of the game should be Laufey, a God of War story. I mean, kind of makes it seem like less canon. I don't know how to put it. It makes it seem distant. Or maybe Laufey, no God of War. But then that kind of it can make people like, not know this is a God of War related thing at first glance. I'm terrible at naming things. I mean, that's just me. I just feel like Laufey should be the bold. I mean, Santa Monica has been known for taking risks. They went from God of War 2018 hack and slash to RPGized God of War no saga, and it paid off. They are very good. They are audacious. They have balls, and that's what they just did here, going from Kratos to someone else. I feel like they should take it further, right? And kind of dissociate the title from God of War just a bit, because this is kind of bigger than Kratos now. He's not the center, and she's not the name. I don't know if you get what I mean. The name just doesn't sit well with me. I also don't like the original cover art they revealed. It looks like something from Harry Potter. It's the fantastical thing again. I think maybe it's just me at this point, but I mean, I don't know. I trust Santa Monica Studios to do something great with this. I mean, they've always delivered. But yeah, I mean, I feel like they're cooking, so we should chill. I believe there will be much more to rejoice about when this game actually releases. I guess we'll wait to find out. Alright guys, what do you think about this new God of War Laufey and the direction we're going in now? I want to hear your thoughts, so sign off in comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and consider subscribing, because I'll be making a lot more videos on games. I enjoy talking about games, anime, and some movies. Join the party for more deep dives. Until next time, good luck on your boss fights in life. Peace.